Peace and grace to you, beloved. You're not here by accident. This very moment, this very breath, is aligned with something eternal. Heaven has drawn you in, not for entertainment, but for encounter, not for coincidence, but for confirmation. Something sacred is happening, and if your heart has been stirred lately, if you've been sensing something beyond words, this is why. You've been searching for clarity, and heaven is whispering now, right into the very place that aches to be understood. This is not a message, it's a movement. A divine thread is being pulled, connecting your soul to something once promised, long prayed for, and now returning. Yes, this is about return. Yes, this is about someone. But more than that, this is about you. The one who created a safe place, not just in your arms, but in your spirit. And now, they're coming home. Let that settle in your chest. This isn't for the masses. This is for you. Type, "I receive," in the comments if your spirit is already saying yes, even before your mind understands why. Angels say you are their safe place, and the one your heart has waited for, the one who once wandered in silence, is being led back to you by divine guidance, not human will. You've carried peace in your spirit like a shelter during the storm. Even when your own soul was weary, you offered comfort to others without being asked. You became a refuge, without demanding recognition. Heaven saw it. Heaven remembers. And now, heaven is responding. There is someone whose spirit has called out in longing, not just for love, but for rest. And your name has been written into the answer. This return isn't accidental. It's a sacred homecoming, because home was never just a place. It was a person, and that person is you. You have always been the safe space, even when others failed to see it. Now, the one meant for you is being awakened, their eyes opening to what their spirit always knew. You are not waiting alone. You are being drawn together. What once felt distant is now on its way home. Pause and breathe. Let your heart prepare for what it once only dreamed. You've felt it, haven't you? That deep, aching shift in the spirit. The ending that didn't come with closure. The silence that lingered longer than it should have. The people who left, suddenly, without explanation. The ones who didn't choose you, even when you stood there open. It wasn't rejection. It was redirection. And while your heart may still carry the sting of unanswered prayers and misunderstood goodbyes, heaven has been orchestrating something greater in the unseen. You weren't being abandoned. You were being positioned. The restlessness, the divine discontent, that wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Heaven had to remove what couldn't walk with you into your promised alignment. The confusion you felt, it wasn't a curse. It was a clearing. Every tear, every sleepless night, every why you whispered to the sky, God heard it, and he responded not with delay, but with divine timing. As it is written in Isaiah, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord." You were never forgotten. You were being refined. And now, the winds are shifting. What felt like loss was heaven making room. Beloved, what you thought was falling apart was actually falling into place. You didn't lose those connections. They were removed, not to punish you, but to protect the promise inside of you. You see, not everyone is meant to walk into the next chapter. Not everyone can breathe in the altitude you're rising to. God is rearranging your atmosphere, clearing out what confused your spirit, what delayed your peace, what distorted your discernment. There's a divine alignment unfolding, and heaven is making space, not just for a person, but for purpose. This is the season where sacred replaces familiar, where God shuts doors with silence and opens new ones with stillness. The silence wasn't empty. It was holy. That empty space beside you, it's being reserved for someone who has been refined, someone who won't run from your light or compete with your peace. You weren't left behind. You were set apart. God is not delaying. He's designing. Let that sink in. Everything being moved right now is in preparation for what is coming into perfect place, and it's coming faster than you think. You may have noticed the signs, not loud ones, but soft, sacred whispers that only your spirit could hear. A name that keeps returning in dreams. A sudden pull to a place you haven't thought of in years. An inner nudge to reach out, or to wait. Moments when your heart stirs, but there's no logical reason why. These are not coincidences. They are coordinates. Heaven speaks in patterns, and your life has been marked with divine breadcrumbs, clues left by angels, to show you that what you feel is not imagined. It's remembered. Maybe you've been waking up at the same time every night, or hearing certain scriptures again and again. Maybe you feel like someone is thinking about you, praying for you, even if you don't know their name. That's because this connection is spiritual before it's physical. As it is written in Psalm, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Your steps, their steps, both being led, both being pulled, closer and closer, not by chance, but by choice from heaven. This isn't confusion. It's confirmation. You've questioned yourself more times than you've admitted, wondered if you were too much, too sensitive, too deep, too broken to ever be truly seen. But heaven wants you to know. You are not too much. You are just enough for someone who has been praying for exactly your kind of love. All the moments when you felt invisible, when you poured from an empty cup, when your light was mistaken for weakness, none of it was wasted. None of it was unseen. The enemy tried to convince you that you were forgotten, but the truth is, you were being hidden, set aside like a rare treasure, until the right heart had eyes to recognize your worth. Your scars don't disqualify you. They prepare you. Your tenderness isn't a flaw. It's a key. And when your soul whispered, "I just want someone who understands," heaven heard, as it is written in Romans, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us." So breathe, beloved. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are being aligned with what has been waiting for you all along. There is someone, quietly being molded by the same hands that are shaping you. They carry wounds too, wounds not unlike yours. And just like you, they've walked through fire and felt the loneliness of being unseen in a world that only notices noise. But they're not the same person they used to be. And neither are you. Heaven has been healing them in places no one else could reach, stripping away pride, distractions, false connections, until what remains is pure, tender, real. They've asked God for someone who wouldn't see them as a project, but as a partner. They've prayed for presence, not performance. They've cried over past failures, longed for something sacred, and without even knowing it, their heart has been making room for you. This isn't fantasy. This is covenant. You're not being prepared for a fairy tale. You're being aligned for a promise. They are not coming into your life to complete you. They're coming to recognize you, to walk with you, to co-labor with you, to build something that mirrors heaven. And when they arrive, they'll know, not because of what they see, but because of what their soul remembers. It won't feel like fireworks. It will feel like rest, like a deep exhale your soul has been holding in for years. You won't have to perform. You won't feel pressure to impress. Instead, you'll feel seen, not for your image, but for your essence. There will be a knowing, a whisper in your spirit that says, "This is safe. This is true. This is home." You won't question your worth in their presence. You won't wonder if your heart is too big, your thoughts too deep, your emotions too strong. They will cherish the parts of you others misunderstood. And when they speak, it will echo something your spirit already believed, as it is written in Philippians, "And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus." That's how you'll know, not by appearance, not by perfection, but by peace. No panic, no confusion, no games, just quiet confirmation in your chest, and a stillness that silences every fear. When God writes the connection, your soul won't need to question it. It will simply recognize it. Pause and breathe. Let everything you've just heard settle in your spirit. This isn't just a message. This is a moment of activation. Speak this out loud. I am ready for what heaven has prepared for me. Say it again. Not from fear, but from faith. Let your words create agreement with what's already in motion. Now type it in the comments. I am ready for what heaven has prepared for me. There is power in your declaration. There is movement in your agreement. When you speak it, you claim it. When you type it, you activate it. Heaven is listening. Let this be your yes. The shift is already happening. You're not waiting anymore. You're walking. Every step you take in faith is unlocking something in the unseen. You may not see it yet, but your spirit feels the movement. Your prayers are not stuck in the sky. They're stirring the earth beneath your feet. Heaven is not delaying. Heaven is aligning. God is reshaping timelines, restoring what was lost, redeeming what was stolen. What you thought was a detour was actually a divine delay, so that the right person, the right moment, and the right version of you could all meet at the same intersection. The acceleration has already begun, and you won't need to chase what's appointed. It will meet you on the path of obedience. Stay sensitive. Stay expectant. Stay available. The door is opening not by force, but by favor. This is your season of alignment, not striving. Your season of clarity, not confusion. Heaven has gone ahead of you. You are not being overlooked. You are being led. They are not just a name on a list or a face in the crowd. They are a soul in process, walking through their own wilderness, wrestling with their own waiting. They have cried out to God, asking if anyone could ever truly understand them. And the answer has always been you. You haven't met yet, or maybe you have, but the fullness of timing hasn't bloomed, because they, too, have been on a sacred journey, learning to let go of false attachments, breaking generational patterns, surrendering timelines they thought would already be fulfilled. They've been stretched, tested, refined, just like you. But even in their quiet, even in their delay. They've been looking for someone who carries heaven the way you do. They've prayed for a connection that goes beyond the surface. They've longed for a partnership that reflects God's heart. Not just romance, but purpose. And though they've grown tired, though they've questioned whether you even exist, something inside them still whispers, "Keep going. Don't give up. You're getting closer." They're not just coming to love you. They're coming to recognize you, because they've been walking their own path, straight toward your soul. They might not look like what you pictured, not the height, the style, the background you imagined. But don't let your preferences blind you to your promise. God rarely wraps destiny in familiar packaging. Sometimes, the one your soul has cried for comes in a form your mind never considered. You may even question, could this really be it?